evening. Hello, everybody.
It's been in a little while, YouTube. What's going on? It's your man Chris is here and your man John. We back with another live stream. This is Chris and John back. We're doing another live talk like we used to.
Actual title is pending. We're working on that, but we brought the vibes. We're gonna name it later.
That's right. We got all the vibes. We got the topics tonight. There's been a lot of things that's been happening these past couple months.
We had a
And
good big gap between us.
and I'd say let's see, John. You want to start off this talk? You want to start it off like what you want to start off this talk with?
I want to start off with the end of the season.
Mm,
It is the last day of Virgo season. I am a Virgo. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself, right? My birthday is I think the fourth day of Virgo season. I'm 3 degrees. I'm 3 degrees, right? My
mm,
birthday. I'm gonna tell you about this a cycle, okay? I'm gonna tell you about something that's always been consistent in my life, right? My purview, right? My birthday was always never failed on the first week of school. Always.
yep.
I'm a ninth house Virgo sun. My birthday was always on the first week of school. So we're talking about cycles. This is the last day of Virgo season, which is the last part of summer. So tomorrow we are going into the fall equinox when it's the same time of day during both AM and PM. Did I say that right? It's the same amount of sunlight and nightlight. Nightlight being, the moon being in the sky, the stars being in the sky. So we're gonna call that moonlight. you know. I think one thing, what really dawned on me, because I ain't the smartest person in the world. I learned a lot of interesting stuff I can share with y'all. The one thing that really blew my mind, the sun is a star. The sun is a star, right? So we're talking about sunlight, but when the sun is, which is the closest and brightest, go away, you got all these other stars in proximity to us. So that's a lot. A lot of stars up there, you know. That cosmic force, like I think one thing that goes over our head, which I'm still, daunted by a little bit, is that the stars is part of our environment. You go outside during the daytime, you put your hand out, you feel that heat from that sun, that star. Do we get other forces of energy from other stars too? Well, maybe by proximity, or just feel different, or it's on a whole different vibrational frequency or something like that. Things to think about. I don't got the answer. Got questions. We can speculate. We need to do some research, figure out, but something to think about. So, even with the moon, the fact that the moon could, this colossal cosmic thing, could reflect solar force and solar energy, and that type of phenomenon during times of the year. Every full moon. We just had a full moon. We just had a full moon. It was in Pisces. It was what, 4 days ago, 5 days ago. I don't know. No, I can't recall anything that was colossal that happened that day. But you gotta look at these things. You gotta look at the motions of what's moving with the tides of nature and stuff like that. Water is all prevalent. Something to think about. A few things to think about. Light, water, how it moves, how it dances around, and how it's moving us. You know, our life force. You know, the other thing that correlates with life force, which is water. You know, um, yeah, it's something to think about. I'm just kind of, I guess, kind of now you kind of the chicken a little bit until they get, you put all the marinade and all that shit in it. That's all. I mean,
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing right now. It's like getting in the house.
And I'm gonna bounce off, and while you're getting into the house, I'm gonna bounce off your point when it comes towards the fall equinox, right? Where most people may not know this. When you're talking about seasons, when you're talking about tropical astrology, during the summer, the sun moves slower than it does during out the rest of the year. It takes about, on average, the sun 1 day is on average equal to 1 degree. But during the summer, since the sun is at its furthest point away, since the earth is at its furthest point away from the sun, we're moving at an oblong shape. You see, when you talk about God's love is like a circle, you're looking at a clock, you're looking at everything in nature, the cycle of nature, the circle of nature, everything is a circle. But when it comes towards how the sun moves seasonally, it's more like an oval. Like it's kind of more like an egg shape. So during different parts of the year, the sun is going to move slightly faster, slightly slower, and at average speed. During the autumn season and during the spring season, the sun moves at average speed. So it's about 1 day is about 1 degree on average. During the summer is about zero point 0.9 degrees per day, and during the winter is like 1.1 degree per day.
That's why those days seem shorter. The days during the winter seem a little bit shorter, but the days during this like the the summer is long. It's real
That's
long.
what,
To me,
but
you know,
yeah,
how we perceive time is a very interesting conversation because it's very subjective. Very, very, very subjective. So for some people it's definite, you know, but it's very subjective because it's on a spectrum. You know, sometimes the spectrum is hard to quantify, especially when you don't know what you're looking at. And you don't know what you're talking about. And when you're talking to people who don't know what they're talking about what they're looking at. So we're talking about experience and time, things like that, you know.
going off going off that point too. You said earlier about how the sun is a star, and I don't know exactly where, but I heard our mentor particularly tell me one time that when the sun comes out, all the other immortal skies in the in the night sky disappear. The sun is our main star. The sun is our main teller of time. It's how we perceive information and how we perceive this reality in the most
So,
physical of ways. Yeah, you hear?
yeah, it's part parcel of our our ability to exist. That motherfucker go pop, we gonna feel it. That don't stop. We gonna feel it. We might not even feel it because it's going, man. It should be so fast and so at the same time instantaneous, and you know, like, you know, we won't be able to have, you know, the prerequisites of the things we have if not for the sun.
Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Everything good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did I go out?
Nah, that was me. I had some double audio playing. I didn't want it to bug out.
Uh, well, I'm in transition right now, so you're gonna get a little bit of friction. And
But even when it comes towards like life and topics and things of that nature, before the call started, my man John hit me with some big points about bringing things into fruition, and I had to think about that for a second because it's like having all the potential in the world to do what you want to do, but not executing on it is the same thing as not bringing anything into fruition. You have to have some sort of activity tied to your ability for your fruits to become nourishing. It even says in the good book, like your fruits, your blessings will be antiquated by your fruits of your labor. Like your fruits or your bearings are gonna show are the significators of how much blessings you've got. So if you're not using what you got or taking time out of your day to really advance your life forward and what you really want to do, you're gonna end up losing it.
If you don't get your ass up and go get some food, your ass is going to have some issues. If you don't get up and if you don't have any, I can use the word urge, but we might use a whole different word. We could like, and when I think about urge, I think that's more, you know, what's it called topic, a more, I'm, it's more to that conversation. You talk about urges. When we're getting compelled by, you know, our life force, I'll say that, you know, we got all these different type of things that compel us to move, eating, physical touch, our environment, um, reacting to allergies, you know, so on and so forth. Maybe like 7 or 8 different other things we could go with that, right? But when we're getting compelled to move by like, you know, nature and things like that, how can I huh, um I get lost in my thoughts sometimes thinking about it. I ain't even gonna lie. But you know, these urges, this drive to be moved. Shit. I don't know. I need a second to really, you know, marvel at that.
Hey, I got you. I'm going to say this because I personally don't know everything. My man John don't know everything, but what we know, right? And certain things I know is that I have in my own personal life have accumulated bits of knowledge from a little bit of everywhere. But my goal has always been what's the best piece of information? What's the most popular piece of information? What's the most general use piece of information I could grab out of all these different sources that are going to apply everywhere? And I was watching this YouTube video this one time of this video game. This I was watching an essay on an old school video game from like the 80s. And this dude used a concept in his video game. He based it on all the religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Druidism. Like he made his own video game based off his
I
findings.
never hear this game.
It's called Ultima. It's an old school retro game. It's a fascinating little series I was watching, and he basically broke down one of his games into this aspect called virtues, and in these virtues, the whole point or the philosophy of the game as you're playing it is to acquire these virtues of empathy, sympathy, serenity, goodwill, fortune, tithing, all of these particular things. And he got out of it is that these to be in a state of enlightenment, to be in a state of being an avatar, in this state of you're a higher level being, you have to continuously go after these virtues. So here's the thing: if you're playing the game and you decide not to give money to a poor person, your virtues go down. You actually lose stat points.
You
If you
don't
don't
break bread.
if you don't if you I'm telling you, if you didn't break bread, if you didn't pay your tithes, if you started swinging on somebody with your sword for no reason without any justification or
Oh, you
cause,
start getting buck on people?
you lose stat points. And the whole philosophy, this is what the game was trying to teach you, and it taught me in this essay, like life is this ever going journey of you trying to build up these morality points and continuously do them while you're still here. The second you get it in your head, man, I'm above this virtue, and man, I already mastered this virtue, man, I already mastered X, Y, and Z. That's when you start fucking up.
Man,
And
you make
we are
my
past
bad.
the 13. I got you. We are past the 10-minute point, so we can curse, and YouTube won't flag this video down. So you good. I'm just letting you know that you good.
I bet. Nah, but you was talking about what? Fire and brimstone?
I was bringing up virtues.
Virtue. Oh yeah, virtues is important. It's one of my favorite like cartoons that I forgot. Like I don't remember the name of it, but I remember it in my head. It ended up being one of them good Christian cartoons and stuff like that. Something of virtue or something. Like, he's talking about virtue, they're talking about light and like virtues are important. Those like that's like the closest thing to principle.
Mm.
You know, principle is like the foundation, kind of like building blocks of like what we know as reality, like the framework, the program of reality, principles. You know? Organic things grow. Things that's not, you know, that had, things that's decaying, keeps decaying. Shit like that. What goes up comes down. Virtues, principles and things like that. I think morals is at like, somewhere at the bottom. So subjective, textual and nuance. Don't mean it's not significant, but it's less fixed. It's not even like, it's you situationally, but let's see. Talking about virtues. Virtues are, you know, let me switch my device. I'm gonna I'm gonna tap back in like 15, 30 seconds.
Nah, I bet. So going off that with the idea of virtues and morality, right? We're gonna have times in our lives where everybody's gonna fall short. Not a single person in this world is 100% perfect. You have some area in your life that you fall short, but it's not about how you fall short that I've come to understand. Hold on, let me get John back in here.
You said falling short?
Yeah,
Boy, oh boy. I was young and old at the same time. I actually understood what a sin was. Let me tell y'all, for a while, I'm wanting to know how come nobody just cut and dry and just like write all this, like the compilation of all the sins in the Bible so we could just have a quick reference to how to sin and how to just like, you know, swing our way into temptation. No, not temptation, salvation. You know. So I'm like, what is a sin, right? Let me grab this book. Where is my book? Oh, here we go. Psychology of the Kabbalah. This is where I learned what a sin is. I was like, oh, word. Let me see. Oh, in Hebrew, the word het or sin means to miss the mark. I've never heard that until I got this book. Wow, like I had this book for like 5, 6 years now. I'm I found it myself. So happened. So that's what it is, and that's why like I think about it. Like I've heard about what's right and what's wrong. What's right, and when things go left, why being correct is important. Not being right, being correct. And guess what? Two people can be correct at the same time. So why the fuck motherfuckers be arguing sometimes? Excuse my language, but we argue on principle. How long are we going to argue about virtue till we understand what's close to principle? And see your blessings and so on and so forth. Think about it.
people need to understand that too. Going off of the talk of principle, let's see where you can bounce off that. Coming off that, with these transits and things that are going on in nature, I know you have your chart pulled up. I'm gonna pull on mine too. What do you expect going on in this next month? Do you expect anything in the news, anything in the stand? Like what are you looking forward to at all coming up in this next month in your personal life, in the media? What's anything you're looking forward to coming up?
All right. Well, look. Um, let's see. I'm looking at things that's in my chart. Let's look at it. University. Let me make sure my stuff is charging too. Ooh, it is not. Um, that's not even what I want to be looking at right now. Excuse me, y'all. All right, we here. Well, look, I see on Rondo's. That's the first thing that just catch my eye. 27 degrees. It's gonna move into Gemini soon. Maybe not in the next month. Let's see that one. Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna fast forward that. That's probably not.
No, that one's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while. Neptune. You think that's gonna be within like a month?
Neptune, I think that one is gonna That one is also going to take. The outer planets are going to take a little while. The did Pluto go back? Is Pluto did Pluto enter back into
Capricorn.
Yeah, it's still in Capricorn. Didn't enter back into Aquarius yet. I
Yeah.
think it enters back into Aquarius in November. But
So
let's
yeah,
look at the inner planets like Venus and Mars and them.
we got Venus going into Scorpio.
Yeah.
That Venus isn't always comfortable in Scorpio like that, like that. You know. That's intense touch. Sometimes we touch too much tingling, you know, that can be overstimulating. You know, food and overindulgence, so food obsession and things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody talk about binge eating or anything like that, or
Mm,
any type of bizarre foods and stuff becoming a topic for a hot little second. Or some type of fashion. Remember that picture I sent you the other day when I went to the Six Flags?
yeah. That gonna be coming up too. Fashion, more
We
dressing up,
might be saying we
jewelry.
might be saying like dead hood animals.
People doing
You
more
know?
revival type rituals, type costumes of that nature.
Yeah.
And since you're talking about
I got one more. We're going
mhm,
to see. We want to see something about fertility. We
mm,
want to see something about fertility. You know,
let's see. Let's see what I can see coming up.
in theory. Hey, if I'm wrong, then hey, we playing 33 right now. Okay. Give
Well,
me a minute.
the first thing I'm gonna say for everybody that I see, well, tomorrow is Libra season, so shout out to all my Libra. Happy solar return to all my Libras out there. Virgos, your month is over. Bye bye. You're done.
We ran it up.
A lot of stuff happened this Virgo season. We're gonna
It
get into.
did.
We're
We
gonna
had
get into that.
we had like 4 deaths.
Yeah.
Four.
Um, Darth Vader died. Rest in peace.
Denzel Jones,
Um,
Rich Homie Quan.
Rich Homie Quan. I covered him in a video. Um, a lot of stuff happened.
Oh, my bad. Frankie Beverly from
Y-
Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Yep,
He
they
passed.
died. So those are some big things. We had some big things happen this end of Virgo season, this end of summer 2024. But I'm not going to lie.
I'm gonna cut my camera off.
This this season in particular, or this year in particular, has had some crazy stuff happen in it. I'm not gonna lie. This year's had some crazy stuff happen in it. I don't think it's as crazy as 2020. It's definitely, I say, more crazier than 2023 so far,
For sure.
in my personal opinion. We're just gonna have to see what comes out during election season, because that's gonna come out in the month after this one. So during election season, that we're gonna see how the world is gonna turn flippy floppy, topsy turvy, depending on what happens during that, right? As an astrologer, I already have made my bet based on the chart and talking to other astrologers who I think is gonna win, but I'm gonna leave that till we get closer towards predictions to speak on that. But I'm gonna say this: coming into tomorrow, for everybody that can see my screen, is gonna be Libra season. Tomorrow's gonna be Libra, the first day of Libra, as you can see right over here. And we have Venus is gonna be entering in Scorpio, like John said. The South Node is in Libra still. Let's see, where's the North Node? The North Node is in Aries. It's gonna be coming out in the next couple months. It should be going into Pisces soon. So we're gonna be seeing a change in the North Nodes. Mars is still gonna be in. Let's go to week. Let's push it forward a week. Let's see. Mars is still gonna be in Cancer, so that's gonna be, you know, depending on your sign, that could be difficulties or when it comes towards the family, frustration with the family, probably due to health issues.
Girl
Because
fight.
yeah, it could be fights. It could be
We're
difficulties
probably
with.
gonna say another girl fight video.
Yeah, could be a girl fight video. It could be sicknesses in the household too, because that Neptune, and because you got Neptune and you also got Saturn in Pisces with Cancer, with Mars being in Cancer, that's a trine right there. So that can be difficulty. Um, it could be, frustration when it comes to family, especially the parents. Saturn, fighting with the parents. Mars, and at the home, Cancer could be that too, especially over one's dreams, ambitions, over even confusion, misconceptions, even things of that particular nature. um Mercury is going to be entering into Libra. When Mercury enters into Libra, that could be, speaking of court proceedings. It could be, I
Court
know.
document.
Yeah, I gotta even I'm a Mercury Gemini and a Mercury Virgo, and I know next month I have court proceedings. Not to get into too much detail, but next month that's going to affect me personally. So a lot of,
You be alright.
yeah, and I also got a summons too for jury duty as well. So I got two particular
Civil
court.
duty.
Civil, yeah, I got civil duties, yes, papers, laws. It could be papers. People might be getting lawsuits. People might be talking more about relationships, talking to relationship partners during this period of time, depending on your sign. You could be getting into more and more things, especially with that. Let's see what else is going into. The moon is going to be going through, all 12 houses during this next month. Jupiter is still in Gemini during this period. Venus is going to be. Speaking of that, now let's go into it since we're here. Since we're talking about Scorpios dealing with court proceedings, there's been one major Scorpio. Is your Scorpio? Yeah. There's been one major Scorpio in the news that has been making a ruckus as of late, and they finally caught him.
Chris. Hey, Chris.
I,
I
I'm
want you. I
I
want you to
wanted to
do
see
something.
my man John wanted to go in on this, so you know
We
what I'm.
already went in on this. Chris, I need you to clip that. Clip that. Clip that. Okay? We look, we slam dunked on that. All right? Hey,
We never did the follow up. I don't know what you're talking about.
we never, hey, it follow up on us. Hey, we said it was gonna be bad. It was bad. A, a, a
Listen,
thousand bottles of baby on you, bro. Let me tell you, we got Uranus. No, 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 not. Oh, well, is that a square? No, that's a sextile. My bad, y'all. Neptune in Pisces, baby oil, musician. Some dancing around there. We go back. It's probably something back then. I probably given life to the results, the outcome. Can you pull Diddy chart real quick?
let's
Do we
see.
have to save it?
Let's pull it up again. All right, let me search it up. Let's see. Uh,
And do we still got the article when he first got locked up? Not locked up, but everything first started going on.
let's see. I don't. Do we? Let, November 4th, 1969. All right. He has. I don't know if I trust this chart. I think I want to make my own, but let's see. He has Sun in Scorpio, Moon in Virgo, Mercury in Scorpio. All right, let me cross reference this and see what I can see. Just recently, he had his court date and his court proceeding. Let's go back. What was that like on? What day was that? Do you remember?
Right now, I do not.
Hmm. Well, let's see. Let's go. Well, the planets. The Mercury is in. Where's Mercury right now? Mercury is in Virgo right now. He has what's in Virgo for him. He has Pluto in Virgo, so that could be a lot of hate is going towards him from the media.
Guess who?
Mer-
Guess whose son could jump that?
Hmm.
Cassie.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So that's that going there. Let's see. Venus, Mars is in Cancer, and in his chart he has Mars in Capricorn. So that could be an opposition affecting his Mars, affecting him personally due to his past relationships, his past freak offs,
Getting real freaking naughty. Like it was oof.
and all of those things.
Out
Mercury,
bottles.
let's see. Oh, can you hear my background? I don't want to. I want to make sure it's not too loud.
A little bit, but they ain't bothering me.
Okay, just making sure. So it's like coming off of Sean Diddy Combs, right? This man has. Let's talk about karma for a second, right? In tropical astrology, right? Karma is this is karma in the practical sense, right? Karma is the parents you're born under. Karma is you didn't pay for your electric bill, so now you don't got power in your house this month. Karma is everything that should be coming to you is gonna come to you, or everything that you cannot, or everything that come to make you what you are that you can't change. Where you're born, who's your parents, who's your family, how tall you are, all of these particular things. That's what karma is gonna be.
The
Diddy,
hand that you dealt.
the hand that you dealt. This isn't a situation technically of a hand that you're dealt. This is a situation of this is the hand you dealt yourself. And Diddy did all of these things to himself.
He took that 12 gauge, pumped that mouth, pulling at his foot. Bah!
And we can go. I could dissect this chart all day. Hold up. Let me do a little bit more digging. Now let's see what I want to say. Let's see what I want to say.
Is that what's on the screen right now?
This is no, this is the chart of today.
Okay.
Let's see. I can pull up this chart though. Let me change screens. All right, settings, stop, present, share screen.
Oh, look at this. Take a look. Yeah.
Let's see. Can you see it clearly? Is it blurry?
It's let me see. A little bit, but
All right, let's see if I can make it more clear.
try to make it a little bit bigger. That helped.
Let me see. So are you? So yeah, I could see. So from Sun in Scorpio, and today currently Sun is in Virgo, right? That's everything having to do with the public. He's getting a lot of flack from the pub. Sun from Virgo to Scorpio. That's the third house. That's the media. From Scorpio to Virgo, that's the 11th house. That is the public. So he is getting ridiculed right now. His face and is he's most definitely his face is in the public's eye right now, getting flamed for what he did. Mars,
Sexually.
psh, Pluto, Pluto is in oh, Pluto retrograded back into Capricorn. Aha, he has Pluto in Virgo. Pluto is in Capricorn, right? That's easy. That's from from Virgo to Capricorn. That's the fifth house. That involves having fun. That involves being in your ego. That's an ego death. Pluto being death, ego being the fifth house placement. He's having a death to his ego right now because of all of the things that he did in the past. All of the fifth house is recreational sex too.
His public image is getting the ego death too,
Yeah,
because they don't know. Oof, this is something that's gonna affect him for years.
I think
Years. Even if he get off.
Venus. also is in Libra right now,
Venus and Libra.
and he has
It
Venus
actually is.
and Venus, and is in his chart is also in Libra as I'm seeing currently.
How long? Hey, what was the date that he got locked up?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. When did he get
Did
indicted?
he arrested?
It was a couple days ago.
uh, we're gonna say 3, 4 days ago. We're gonna say 4 days. We're gonna go by the longest. We're
All
gonna
right,
say 4. Average says 4. So the
let me see.
21st, 4 out, no 4 days around right now. Fuck it. Just shooting around one,
The
two,
17th or the
three,
18th?
four.
Would you say?
We're gonna say 17th, right?
All right.
Look where Venus at. He had a Venus return.
Yeah, he did. Venus was at 22 to 23 degrees, and it was wow. So on his
Justice
Venus
is
return, justice came that got him. The court came for him. And people say astrology don't work. I do. Are people seeing this? Are people seeing what's really
that's
happening?
just called a coincidence.
Oh, hey, everybody. Hey, we do coincidences over here.
We
I'm a
also do considerations. And do you want to know what I learned what consideration means?
what?
I just want y'all to consider this. Oh yeah, I remember. It means to consult the stars.
Mm,
Consider it. Consider etymology. Y'all can look it up on y'all time, right? Examine, okay, to study, to look at closely, to observe the stars, probably literally, okay, with together heavenly bodies, star, constellation, somewhere like that, right? Await what the stars bring, something like that. Yeah. So I just want y'all to consider what these coincidences kind of, align with, you know.
but to them it's a coincidence, right? To them it's a coincidence. Oh, and look at this. On that particular day, Mars was at 7 degrees of Cancer, right?
Right?
Uranus was at 6 degrees of Libra. It was a surprise that they came and arrested him for him. It was shocking to him and
That's
surprising
a
that
square too.
it's
Cause he was walking around that joint. He was making videos with him. Like, yeah, Harlem to the definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
he got a and look, Cancer is a hotel. Mars
I
is
thought
in
I
Cancer.
thought I thought Neptune was hotels.
Neptune is you're not wrong. Depending on what on in classical astrology, Neptune is I'm
Or
pretty
Pisces. Also Pisces.
it was also Pisces too. It could also be hotels because I know Neptune is prisons, it's hospitals. Cancer is more hotels. Cancer is more the comfort, the hospitality, the hospice,
Lodging.
lodging, cancer. But in some schools of classical astrology, they switch it so that Neptune is going to be that Cancer is going to be the hospital, and what you call it, Neptune is going to be hotels. But if you look at it this way too, because that's not wrong, they found him in a New York hotel, which is Cancer, and he got arrested there, Mars, and it was a surprise to him. It was a surprise to him, Uranus, that the justice system came after him, Libra. On the square right there.
what's heading through there? Oh. Ooh. Damn, did he? Damn, did he? Ooh, because he's about to have the sun go through there too. So it's gonna burn his ass up because it's moving more. It's gonna be approaching that Venus return, that Venus degree is gonna jump. So it's spotlight on justice. And it's gonna hit Uranus too. So we could
So
probably say expect unexpected at the same time too. No surprise if some other in the orientation conversation comes up
hey,
because hey, Diddy was not his name was Love. Hey, you don't know if Diddy Love had no limit. You know,
Diddy is what they call um will breed with anything that moves, fucks
yeah,
anything that walks.
he horny. He get real, yeah. He get real horny.
And that's just some people.
Yeah, I don't get that horny, y'all. I don't real. That's just first. I ain't that horny, though. I don't even need to be that horny. For what?
Because he does have Neptune and Scorpio, which is hidden taboos, which is hidden sexual affairs.
Mm, ain't hit no more. Nigga,
It's
they,
not, he ain't hitting nothing no more.
yeah, let's
Now
see.
he's up in Brooklyn right now in the county jail in Brooklyn, and they be giving him um school lunches for meals, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He got them school lunches. He got a choice of rice and peas. He got a choice of that box macaroni cooked chicken.
Damn, yo. But also, he had a natural Saturn opposed sun up in that joke.
Yeah,
So Saturn is a retrograde. So I can't necessarily speak to how a retrograde would throw all that together. But Saturn and the Sun never really work good together like that, like opposition stuff like that. That's not necessarily one of the worst things to have in a chart, but that is like I don't want to say necessarily blocking your shine.
mm,
It's an obstacle, within I guess we could say your talent or something like that, or confinement for frolicking because the Sun is frolicking. And the freak off sounds real frolicky. If you ask me, it was a whole bunch of swinging things going around there.
that freak off seems like it was a business transaction. It sounds like he hired some people. They did some things. They weren't comfortable with some things. He blackmailed some people to do some things too, and that went down.
We don't look. I don't think we're beyond because the way it floors me. You know the social etiquette of the day and things like that. How prevalent information and things. I wouldn't be surprised if for evidence sake they release one of the sex tapes or something or two, and they blank them out when someone had the technology to unblank them and shit like that. I think we live in that much of a prevalent kind of place where people want to be able to they're gonna pick something out for evidence because they got all the cameras and stuff like that.
We're gonna see a
It's gonna
lot of
be
extra.
leaked.
We're gonna see a lot of used bottles of baby oil. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, we're gonna be caught the baby bomb. And look, but my thing is too. I also been watching. I've been watching this for a few years now. Neptune moving into Aries. That's gonna be that by itself. That's gonna turn up the heat on a lot of things. Musically, the culture of clubbing and the nightlife and what the DJ playing and things like that. It's gonna change. And I think,
Believing in oneself
yeah,
or
um,
being in a state of self delusion on the negative aspect of it.
delusional myopia.
Mm,
I've been really. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, well, never mind. I thought I had to sneeze, y'all. My bad. So myopia. I think that's an aspect of Aries. That leaping and looking. um, I think our culture and a lot of the ways we think we're very myopic. We're very short sighted. I think that's a feature of socioeconomic positioning. A lot of people can't think past 6 months like that. A lot of people don't. So a lot of people have kids. They're thinking past how am I actually right now going to go 6 months from now like that. It's myopia. It's Aries. Spark. You spark and then you don't even give consideration oftentimes to where that flame going to go to or what impact that spark going to have and things like that. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not as you become a hazard amongst to yourself and or anything in proximity. You know, It's power without discipline. In Hebrew, the letter Aleph is the ox, which is primal energy. It's a spark of life. And, left unfettered, this bitch run around, set things ablaze. So being myopic isn't, it's I think it's a product of frolicking sometimes, depending on the situation. So um but with that, with Neptune and Aries, I see the music going from drugs and being a druggie and stuff like that, just being a thug, gangster, killer, warrior, blah blah blah. Like we gonna get a whole bunch of warrior music. We gonna get a lot of that. Like that's gonna be, you know, I don't know, the audience or whatever like that, but that's why I see it going. No limit soldier type shit, you know.
Yeah, more crash out music.
Smoke,
A lot more crash out music.
you know. I just look. I'll say look both ways for across the street. Even if you're on the even if you're on the sidewalk, cars don't always stay on the street.
Speaking of cars too, watch out for gasoline. Be very careful with gasoline.
Yeah.
That,
Um.
that shit might ignite in your face. You might see a lot more burning of oil, things of that nature. Maybe natural disasters, something burning with oil and things of that nature.
We might see a few of those in the next few years. Like it ain't just gonna be one. I'll toss my rock and say four. I don't have no scientific backing on that, whatever like that. Intuition just saying for that amount of time, it's gonna be somewhere, whether it's local, whether it's international. At some point, I count three on whatever scale of it. Whether it happens immediately outside, down the street, up the road, in another county, in the state, in your neighboring state, in your country, on the coast. You know what I'm saying? Next to your country, like thing, like small things just don't happen in opinion. Like a lot of things that we experience isn't necessarily. It's a phenomenon, but it's multiple iterations of it. The way I see it, God was very original, but not very redundant.
Right.
God used a cookie cutter for this jump. You go to a lot of places, you see people who look like someone you might know, or they have a different way. Look at nature, a squirrel one place and another place, and have variations and things like that. Like, I think there's a geometry to this thing, and the way things are set up situationally, the way things move, and a rhythm, a rotation, and stuff like that. You know, lick your finger, see which way the wind is blowing, and it's no different with us looking at these things that we're seeing on the possibly individual level or collectively. You we experience things collectively, especially now because we had the advent of technology. You know, it was how we were more lonely with technology when way back then we had each other more when we had less technology closer to each other too. It's interesting when I think
We
about
have
that.
the ability to speak to people across the world in a matter of seconds, but
Yeah,
our ability to be innate or close with one another, scientific researchers say, is going down. Our
our
ability,
interpersonal skills.
people would rather look at one another through a screen rather than look at somebody eye to eye nowadays. I'll say it like that.
I think because there's emotion and energy. I mean, it's energy and emotion. My bad. Thoughts and ideas and stuff. You can see sometimes a person thinking of something, you can't probably tell what it is. I mean, emotionally, maybe you can, contextually, or whatever like that. But sometimes that's intense for people. Some people can't take the way people even look at each other sometimes. So, culturally, it's an issue. People looking people in the eye and things like that and everything. And sometimes having technology, things like that, I guess it dissipates some of that anxiety and stuff like that. You know.
And there's a lot of people who act different on the internet than they do in real life. There's a lot of keyboard warriors, internet warriors, Karens, you name it. Twitter,
Bitch ass niggas.
all the Twitter. So it's like they're this it's interesting how people form communities nowadays, and how the internet has just become this new haven for these pocket communities to form, where people want to only hear their own ideas, talk amongst themselves, and perpetuate their bullshit across the rest of the world. So for the few people who actually have great ideas, good discussions, um actual good talking pieces, it is there's a saying that people used to say back in the day. They used to say 90% of what you find on the internet is garbage, only like 10% of it is true. I think that still holds up today. I think that's a very, very true statement. It's you have to go swimming through a sea of people's opinions, um, thoughts, um, emotional reactions before you might find a piece of information where you're like, oh, I could actually use this. But
You
once you
should
find it, it works for you.
you should endeavor to form your own opinion.
Mhm.
And you should also understand the sentiments of other people so you can understand your relationship with different varies of what people feel and think. You don't have to have a relationship with what they feel and think, but how the fuck you feel and think, you know? So I think that people should be, you know, aware or kind of in touch with what people think and feel, whether if it's something that they care for or not, something like that, because maybe they see something that you don't. Maybe they see something that you don't right now or something like that. You know, everybody isn't receptive all at the same time about things in the first place. So I say give things consideration. I don't say don't believe that shit immediately. Like you gotta think about kind of think about like the person made me open to think about that is like Kanye. I saw when Kanye went like someone went in there and undid some wiles real quick. And he's been nuts so since, right? But he said things he probably don't understand what he said when he was saying some things. But like you gotta kind of think about some shit he says is wonky, but sometimes he say something actually. Oh, you got some issues, but you have to think about what you say. Hmm. You know what I'm saying? But form your own opinion. Form your own opinion. Don't go like stop going off what other people is gaslighting you to. We were using that word, gaslighting you to invigorate the common consensus of things.
Yeah, don't fall into no group think.
God damn it! Yes, I was thinking about that shit. Yeah, that group thing. I mean, ain't nothing wrong being a skeptic. If everybody call you stupid, say, "Hey, I'll be stupid and right later." Something. No.
And that's what it's about. We got about 7 minutes left, so we're gonna chop it up a little bit more where we get to spit off the top of our head what we got. When it comes to what I think about it, things of that nature too, this goes back to what I said earlier in the stream, right? About everybody has their own issues and problems. It's being able to see somebody past said issue and problems and look at what is the actual relevant, good piece of information, lifestyle, activity, behavior that I actually can take from this person to add it to my own life.
Resolution by reference.
Mm,
Resolution by reference. So what the Bible's for, to me, it's a repository of human, not only just tragedy and things like that, but we could say virtue or like it's a lot. Well, no, I get all emotional talking about the Bible. Yeah. But nah, it's like even in folk stories and stuff like that, we have past stories to talk about how people, faced adversity and overcame and things like that. And sometimes we get that, and even like what we believe a person will probably do, like what would Jay-Z do, something like that, things like that. We get inspired with things like that. So I think not only think for yourself and things like that, but no, seek reference, correct reference, cite your references. Okay, cite your references. How did that work out for that motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, that would look like it can't. Ooh, no, you know what not to do.
Simply learn from other people's mistakes. Learn from them. If you see somebody crashing their car into the woods driving 90, maybe I shouldn't,
And
drive
look
90 and crash my car into the woods.
and look at the elements of
Man,
what made that happen.
how much
Time,
was he
tires,
drinking?
tread. Get those details.
I saw a Facebook reel earlier today. This lady jumped out of her car in the middle of like a two-way intersection, and she just let her car just slowly drive onto the other side of the road. It bumped into one car and then hit the wheel. And I seen the caption, "Oh, she saw a spider on her windshield." The first thing that come to my mind, this female, excuse my French, is retarded. You saw a spider, you let your car just roll to the other side of the street.
I wouldn't say retarded. I would say she had a primal reaction. I'll say that. I don't think people resorting to primal behavior is necessarily retarded. We have a very, complicated, complex kind of thing going on. Phobias and things, ancestral experiences and stuff like that. Motherfuckers die from getting, you know, crawled on and bit by a spider before. What if that's in your genetics?
Could be.
Trauma. So we got to consider that. Now, the wrong place, wrong time. Trauma plus car equals car crash. You know, or some hectic stuff going on. Like we got to be mindful, and that's something to think about when we talk about the astrology and stuff like that too. One thing that we consider oftentimes is environment. Environment plays a big part. I don't think we understand how important our environment is because we got to think about the conditions. When we think about conditions again. That's where we use in astrology fluently. We have to understand the conditions of things, situation, how things set up. Your environment, for example, is stuff I thought about allergies. Allergies. There's about 32 different allergies as far as I know. You ever went to the little allergy place, the ENT place? They had like this big thing and they just prick your whole arm with, and there's like 25, 30 things, and they're
I've
all
seen it.
different. Pets, food, things that grows in nature, all those type of things. So it's different. It's like, let's use an example of drinks. Water, bleach. Don't drink bleach, y'all. Juice, soda, seltzer water. Okay, with this is like your allergies are like it's a variety of different things, and it's on the spectrum. You know, your environment is spectral. It varies. Your environment is very circumstantial. The other hurricane fell through that motherfucker one time. See the conditions change. What things that change the environment or allergies is the weather. When that sun move, it changes the environment. That's astrology right there by itself. Boom.
Boom.
Seasons. That's astrology. If it's
That's
not affecting your behavior and how you feel and whether you like sherbet or not, it's affecting what's going on with people with allergies and seasonal affect disorder. So, did you get that thing I sent you, the Chat GPT joke I looked up at what?
I saw the text. I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Check it out because I had to ask a question about human sexuality and reproduction and mating seasons and stuff. And it said a few things to think about. One of the things they consider is, well, seasons, and, how it affect our hormones and stuff like that. Something to really think about. Um, I'm eating right here. Whatever.
We
Um,
creatures just like other animals. We are different from other animals, but we have similarities that we share with them. And see, humans like have seasons where you're in season and when you're off season. I think where humans, especially nowadays, mess up is we be mating a lot when we're off season.
I just, bro, listen. Once you're saying that, it reminded me of what Chat GPT said. So, unlike animals, we are the only ones who can mate year round.
Mm,
But there's conditions that go about it. But we was able to terraform our conditions in a certain way where we're able to have children year round. But one of the things that does make a difference is that ovulation cycle. Excuse me. You gotta think about how many people are on or off their period at a given time of the year. And people when they get around each other, their periods start synchronizing, which is interesting. You know, it's some women who get pregnant, and then a few months later, another woman get pregnant, and another woman get pregnant. Whether they're making agreements or whether they're subconsciously or unconsciously or by nature,
you
working
see,
through, what we thinking that we thinking type shit.
and that applies to a lot of things. If you put it in that sense, it applies to a lot of things, a lot of human cultural rituals of this person gets married, now I want to get married. This person got a girlfriend, now I want to get a girlfriend. This person has a car, now I want to get a car. These are all innate human um um
Drives, urges,
drives, urges,
things that compel us.
survival mechanisms that will give us an advantage in society or an advantage in life that we've had for thousands to if not millions of years, depending on how you want to look at the science. But it's like these are all important things to
Hey,
take or and consider.
hey, Chris, blow up my picture real quick.
Let me see. Uh, that's mine. Which one do yours? How do I make it? All right.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till you get back. I don't see you or hear you. I don't see you or hear you. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. Don't do that again.
I'm trying to figure out how to get you to be on the bigger screen. Sort of layout like
There you
this.
go.
You still hear me?
Yeah. All right. Try to squint and see what you're looking at.
I see it's a picture of the solar system. It's got the sun, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and I think those are the moons of all those planets. I see the Earth there too.
Uh huh. All that moving around us. How arrogant to do for us to think that there is not just to me. It's not just the planet. It's those moons that's around those planets too that have a seismic effect on us.
Mm,
Yeah, because I don't think we just count because all that going on currently. You know, like if you want to consider something, because we already consider constellations of different stars. Why don't we consider when we look at the planet, we're also not looking at like the moons. And all those aren't even probably considered moons. We don't know what the fuck they really are.
mm,
They could be big planets and stuff like that as well. We don't know. We're putting things in categories because, we just, I guess, moving was I guess, arbitrary or whatever like that and categorize things the way we see it, but sometimes we can be wrong. Sometimes we can have something that we don't know, we don't have a category for it at the same time, too, just to consider, you know?
and that's why.
Yeah. So, um, we got these big cosmic forces of heat and dust and freezing beyond anything we can feel, or the heat 20,000 times more than your air fryer. Like, no, we we neglect the fact that, let me cut this back on. We neglect the fact that what's going on in the cosmos is part of our environment. If we can feel the sun is that far away, put our hand out, we feel that heat. Who's to say when we put our hand out, that's not the only energy that we're feeling? How does it affect our blood? Our blood has iron in it. It's magnetic. As far as I know, I never put a magnet to my arm or anything before, nothing like that. But like, if something is magnetic, it's magnetic.
Yeah.
So iron is magnetic, right? As far as I check.
It's all that. It's that repulsion and that attraction.
Yeah. Water is like again, water is electric. Um, it's what is it's a conductor. My bad. Water's a conductor. Iron is magnetic. So we're big electric, and then our skin is conductive. Y'all never got shocked touching some metal after rubbing on the floor. Your skin is conductive. Like, so what how far are we gonna go with this? Like, we have these forces moving around through in things, through waves of things that we can't see, hear, feel, perceive. Okay, and we have phenomena that coalesce with our environment.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of life, in the
We,
sense that even though we cannot fully come to understand every single last force around us, we have that innate understanding that there are forces around us and we are a part of those forces as much as they are a part of us.
Listen, y'all. I mean, for reference, right? For whatever we're looking at right now, we can go outside at some point and be able to look and show you what we're looking at and what it is looking like over a span of time, and not in just one way, but a few ways of how it it terraforms in nature. Like, we can indicate something natural that we're looking at, or maybe even unnatural, but you know,
Hey,
yeah.
but for right now, as long as I ain't seeing no artificial alien thing or some robotic thing from outer space coming to get me, I'm Gucci. I'm valid. I'm living the good life. But
Yeah.
hey, it's been over an hour. This has been a good talk. We went over a lot of topics today, and hopefully we can get back to doing these on a somewhat regular basis, but we'll see. But I hope you all enjoyed today. This has been Chris, and that's been John. We'll catch y'all on the next one, whenever that will be.
Whatever that'll be, y'all. Holler at y'all.
All right, peace, y'all. All right.